Formula 1 returns to the Sochi Autodrome for the 5th running of the Russian Grand Prix of the modern era, and home favourite Daniel Kvyat is still yet to taste the champagne on the top step of the podium, and will 2018 finally be the year for the home favourite. As becoming as a tradition in the past few races, Williams were first out once again putting in numerous amount of laps, and Josh Tyrrell is one of the earlier favourites to take the race victory, as he already has back-to-back victories under his belt here in 2015 and in 2016, so could this race be the hat-trick for him? So to the left, scratching their heads after the last race, after both cars has plummeted like stones on the harder tyres, so both Lewis Hamilton and Kamui can actually focus most of their running in practice on longer run pace, to see if they can just solve their issues from the last race. However, the feeling was very different in the Red Bull camp, as Daniel Kvyat took the most dominant victory in UniONE career history last time out, winning by almost 40 seconds from Josh Tyrrell. He'll be hoping to repeat that feat here on his home race to take his first victory in front of the home crowd. Also, Alfa Romeo now confirmed that they've signed one of their drivers now for the 2019 season. They can't even entirely on who it was, but they did confirm that it is a driver that's already on the 2018 grid. Finally, in the FP3, the heavens opened and most teams did their short running during their session, and also is the new Red Bull driver Nico Kari, who replaces Carlos Sainz in the Taurus now for the remainder of the 2018 season, and also has a seat confirmed for 2019. Pierre Gasly could only manage 20th and last place in the white qualifying session, with Rio Haryanto in 19th in the McLaren. Nico Kari, in what is only his second race and first race for this season, lines up in 18th place, with Pascal Wehrlein having an absolute shocker, starting down in 17th place. Lance Stroll would be the 5th and final driver knocked out in Q1, and for the first time this season, Carmen Jorda outqualifies their teammate Rio Haryanto and also gets out of Q1. Mick Schumacher starts 14th as the leader of the Haas, with Nico Hülkenberg starting in 13th place in the second of the Renaults. Championship leader Fernando Alonso could only manage 12th place in the wet session, with Giovinazzi starting from just outside the top 10 from 11th in the Sauber Alfa Romeo. Kamui Kobayashi is surprised to line up only in 10th place, with Verstappen equally disappointed to only line up in 9th in conditions that should easily favour the Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton starts the lead of the Toyotas from 8th place, and defending world champion Jean-Eric Vergne starts from 7th in the lead of the Renaults. Being all Ferrari driver row 3 of the grid, with Adrian Sutil starting in 6th, and the driver who will get replaced by Ferrari next season, Charles Leclerc, starts from 5th. 5-time champion Sebastian Vettel would use the good conditions to effect to start from P4, and Josh Tyrrell starts from 3rd in the Williams. Daniel Kvyat would just miss out on pole position in front of the home crowd, leaving honours to go to Robbie Kubica in the Williams. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the UniONE career, this time round 15 for the Russian Grand Prix, a race that we've won twice already in 3 attempts before this one in the front running car, because the Marussia wasn't exactly a front running car. And now then, Daniel Kvyat starting in 2nd place. He's yet to actually win his home Grand Prix. I mean, we denied him in 2016, and in 2015 and 2017 the Red Bull car really wasn't there. Also, if you're noticing a little bit of like janky lag in this video, you know how I said from the last time as well that the Singapore track just didn't really agree with my computer? Some of that seems to have carried over to this Russian Grand Prix as well. Although it's not janky, it's just kind of like this kind of like weird lags that just came from the replay footage. I don't know why. It worked fine on the actual recording the footage. It's just when I went to edit it, it worked fine in editing as well. Just when I converted the video into this is just when it went wrong for whatever reason. Either way though, Nico Kari in 18th place in what is only his 2nd Grand Prix. Now he's got that seat confirmed for him, so he's got some security for the time being anyway. Now qualifying Gasly at his first time of asking this season, that's some pretty good going. But now then, we're starting now in P3 behind 2 of our championship contenders, Daniel Kvyat in 2nd place and our teammate Kubica starting on pole. Sebastian Vettel there in P4 used the rainy conditions to good effect, because in the rain it's pretty much of a pace nullifier, so that Ferrari, it's not a quick thing around a lap, and maybe it could be a bit of a bottleneck in the race, but now coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. Last out, and away we go. We need a good start here from P3. Looks like those Charles Leclerc behind us got absolutely blindly started. Now they're going 3 wide now with one of the throws of Adrian Sutil. They made contact there between Leclerc and Adrian Sutil. Didn't see any carbon fibre pass, they fly off. And they get the run now down into turn 1. It was just being swamped now by the midfield. The sparks just fly everywhere, pretty much synchronised from every single car. And we've got one of the Toyotas trying to stick it around the outside line. We keep it side by side though with the Toyota. We have the inside line now for this long sweeping turn 4, so we should have the advantage of the Toyota. It's able to stick it right around the outside line. So some good pace on there from that Toyota. Now going down into that corner, we go for a massive dive bomb. Also inside. Oh, we said their teammates wanted to make that stick. No, they couldn't. What should they say? That was a massive dive bomb. Now we were having a look back at the inside line because I'm not having that for them. We're going to dive now back onto the racing line. And then which Toyota? That Kobayashi, it is! Kobayashi with an absolutely massive this world dive bomb on the first lap of the Grand Prix. That is not on, mate. That is the kind of thing you do on the last lap of the Grand Prix. You could have taken me out, you could have taken your teammate Hamilton out as well. Maybe even Vernie's the guy who took in the first place. But, I mean, fair play where it's due to Kobayashi, I guess. He actually managed to make that work for him and somehow didn't plough into his teammate. Then, of course, no DRS here. That won't be activated until the third lap of the Grand Prix, so this is about pure stationary in that Toyota. It's probably the fastest thing in a straight line, so I doubt we're going to be catching that up before we actually get the DRS. Behind there, got to be back now. You've got that Fernando Alonso, I think it is, behind us. Alonso's actually had a good start to this race. Going outside there, Max Verstappen. Verstappen actually starting inside the top 10, and he's just behind us well, so Alonso is already up into P9 from P12, so he's going to be another recovery drive, it looks, for Alonso. Now, this track is very different to the Singapore Grand Prix track of last time, so Alonso should be able to make up a few more places much more easily in this race anyway. We're all over the back though of Kamui Kobayashi. Of course, still no DRS here. It's going to be about pure BMW power. And you can see that Kobayashi just streaking away. There's that Toyota. It's just so fast in a straight line. It's just still lacking that little bit of downforce, which is why Hamilton and Kobayashi only land up at 8th and 10th in qualifying. They'll probably be quite a bit higher up if it was dry. I know they get a great one though out of turn 2. And they're going to try and keep it around the outside line, just keeping it right in the wheel tracks here of Kobayashi through the sweeping turn 4, but unless you're going side by side into that corner, then we can be trying to look at this time, but Kobayashi is going to, of course, he's going to be wise to his own move. Although it would have been rather satisfying there to send one down the inside line of Kamui. Now they're into the second section of the lap. And through here, like I said, unless you're already getting side by side into this sector, pretty much like through turn 4, there's no way through here that you can really make an overtake, because Kobayashi there even goes defensive to the inside line. It's going to give him a poor run, and all over the back though of Kamui. Kobayashi now coming to what is now the final few corners here of the second sector. Run out a little bit wider there, because it's so easy to run wide on the track. It's all just completely flat as well, so you can just try and give it everything you've got through every single corner. And this will be the second of the DRS straights come the next lap of the Grand Prix. And we've got a bit of a gap there too, Johnny Burns. And Vernie had a good lap in qualifying, but that Renault's not the fastest thing in a straight line, so you might have a bit of a almost into the back there. Kobayashi gets so close there to him. Actually, if we were any closer, I think I may have just creamed him off the track. They're showing it's still going to lay on the brakes, and that Toyota, it's a low drag car in design. It's still lacking a little bit of downforce overall for what they'd ideally want, so he's still going to lay on the brakes and what Kobayashi can, so even if you just have that straight line speed advantage, we can get you back under braking and through the corner as well, because we do have a bit more downforce on our Williams BMW than what is on that Toyota anyway. Though nothing's really going to beat downforce in terms of what the Red Bulls have. But now then, finally this time we're going to have DRS now. Can we try and make a move? DRS wide open. The couple side by side immediately there with Kobayashi. They're showing that Kobayashi was being a little bit of a bottleneck himself, pretty much why I'm expecting Vettel to be up in front as well. He managed to get past Kamui there fairly simply actually. You've got a little bit of a guy there too, Jean-Eric Vergne. He now has Fernando Alonso right behind him. So Fernando Alonso, they were championship rivals from last season. They're in completely different situations now in this 2019 season, but Vergne, you're going to want to put on a good showing. He's going to want to get ahead of Hülkenberg in the standings, surely by the end of the season as well. You know, he wants to mix it up there with the Ferraris and the Renault. It's only a slightly worse car than the Ferrari, all things considered, really. And looking now at the Sauber Alfa Romeo of Charles Leclerc, he's now actually catching up now to Sebastian Vettel. He's actually going to try and make a move around the outside line of Sebastian Vettel, actually going defensive to his teammate for next season. Can he make it stick there in the Alfa Romeo Sauber? He's still going to keep his Sauber side. Vettel's now the inside line of Leclerc, so he's going to keep it around the outside line. And he can, yes, he does. Vettel has to back out the move. Sebastian Vettel just has been overtaken by an Alfa Romeo Sauber car, which is worse than the Ferrari, but is mega in a straight line. And that's going to be infuriating Vettel, because we already know that the Alfa Romeo team, they're not going to be the Ferrari B team anymore, which many thought they would be, and that's what Sauber was. But it's like Leclerc, if he can do this in a Sauber, he's going to absolutely destroy Vettel next season, unless Vettel really needs to find some form if he doesn't want that to happen. Now they're getting back in the station now, of course, with the DRS as well. The Ferrari's got the same engine as what the Sauber in front of him has got, but just like the lower drag on that Sauber, push around the track is just enough to hold him off. But now they're looking a bit further back now, looking to the actual back of the grid. You've got the two Toro Rosso Hondas here ahead of Haryanto, so really Haryanto is not the best start to this Grand Prix. since he's down one place and got qualified for the first time by Karma Jordan. I can't even see Jordan, so she must be way up the road. Looks like this race, Harrington really is getting outperformed by Jordan. Got the Taurus now actually going into combat now up in front as well. And actually got Nico Kari, who's actually fell behind Pierre Gasly. That's crucial for Gasly to get in front, because these two could end up vying for a Red Bull seat for next season. Although Gasly, he did score the points for the team so far. But if Kari comes in and starts outperforming him, then it could well end up being Kari that gets promoted maybe to Red Bull for next year. Now then, on the run down into 6th sector now, Kari goes first from Harrington. Harrington really is all over the back here of the Finnish driver. Now then, going on now through the 2nd sector lap, there's really not much between these two cars in terms of the aerodynamics, since the McLaren was built around a Honda engine, which is in the back of the Toro, and Toro was built around Reggio Renault engine, which is in the back of the McLaren. So basically, two bodge-jobbed cars, and they've really not worked out for this season. This is basically Formula 1.5. You got, well, basically everyone else, and you got these two down here at the bottom of the table, still fighting over the wooden spoon. Of course, they want to be the driver that doesn't come in last place, and Harry is all over the back still of Kari, but into the corner. He just can't make anything say. Of course, Kari still be getting DRS off the back of his teammate Pierre Gasly. Now then, on to lap 6. We've now caught onto the back now of Lewis Hamilton in the Toyota. We're in a bit of a Toyota sandwich again, pretty much like we were a few races ago, and Hamilton runs out wide. I guess we makes a mistake. We just send it right on the inside line there of Hamilton. So really uncharacteristic mistake there from Hamilton. You know, he was a 2008 champion, and he's won 3 races this season in the Toyota, their first 3 wins in F1 history as well. And making a mistake there, that's fairly interesting. Actually, no, Hamilton's going to come straight back to use that massive straight line speed advantage he has, even if Rusto will possibly get sticky there around the outside line. Then we use our downforce to our advantage here. We have the inside line, going to try and force out Hamilton to get very aggressive there with our fellow Brit, because of course it's only me and him as the Brits on the grid for this season anyway. Never know what can happen next season, because it looks like Lando Norris may well be coming in. If Karma Jordan, should we get maybe even some points in this race, then no, she might actually end up holding on to her seat for next year. We come now around the final few corners. Now we can try chase now after Adrian Sutil in the Ferrari in front of us. And Sutil is actually having a pretty good race actually. I mean, Vettel's teammates, whether it was Verne or Sutil so far, they haven't had the greatest of season, even compared to Vettel, because Vettel a few races ago was actually in the Championship 5, was actually second at one point. Now here comes Lewis Hamilton, going to try and pass once again. He looks to the inside line, that's all it was, just a little look. Couldn't actually make anything of that opportunity. He actually gets to pull on there on the exit turn 2, so I think that was just a bin or win situation there, it looks like, for Lewis Hamilton. But no, then, we've got 3 Ferrari cars here in front of us, and got 3 Ferrari drivers as well, because Sutil is going to get replaced by Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari for next year. And Sutil there is just going to really want to go on a high, because there's no point in Ferrari even using team orders at this point, because one, Leclerc is the junior driver, he's already beating Vettel anyway, so clearly there's nothing going on there. And Vettel, what is he going to be thinking now? He's going to be dreading Charles Leclerc as his teammate for next season if he can do this to him in a worse car. Although throughout the season Vettel has had the better performances, but this is a track where the Sauber is really different to play. Pretty much like in 2012, the Sauber, there's just a few tracks that just work for them, and they're just being really competitive, pretty much like what they are now, because Giovinazzi in the other Sauber Alfa Romeo, he's actually, I don't know where he is, he's probably somewhere around the bottom end of the top 10. I think he still might be in the points where he started in the points, so I'm guessing that's where he'd still be. Now then, through the third section of the lap, we really are getting now on Adrian Sutil. Sutil's actually starting to fall away a little bit now from the back of Sebastian Vettel. So imagine Sutil, he uses his tyres a little bit more than what Vettel has, just being stuck here behind the Sauber. Because around a lap, Leclerc is going to be slower. It's just down the straights here that Vettel has the advantage really with DRS. And now then we have DRS as well on the back here of Adrian Sutil. We're gaining on the back though on that Ferrari, but coming into turn 1, going up to 270 mile an hour. But into turn 1 though, we're not quite close enough there to make a move on the back of the German. And now they're moving on to the end now of lap 9, so a little bit further on, and the order is stayed exactly the same, but we are now dropping Lewis Hamilton, so it looks like the Toyotas are still having quite a few issues possibly with their tyres, although this track is really low on tyre wear. Maybe this isn't one of the tracks that works for that Toyota, which is a bit surprising because I thought it would have been coming into this race weekend. Now we're 1.6 seconds down on our best lap, so yeah, the tyres are starting to go off now until lap 10 of the race, although it's still a one-stop Grand Prix. Now we have DRS now on the back of Adrian Sutil, can try and make this move, moving side by side with the German coming down now into turn 1, and Bruce has to move back onto the racing line as well. But so that is always a risk that we need that, because you take away the air from the front of their car, you take away their braking point as well, so they could have just rounded the back of it, but Sutil, he's been here long enough, he's been here since 2007, so I'm pretty sure he's going to know how to drive a Formula 1 car by now, and he's got a few podiums under his belt this season as well, so this is going to be going out on a high anyway, so it looks. Now you've got Vettel in front of us, still stuck up behind his future teammate. And I've got to make a good point of that as well. I mean, Leclerc, he scored points on his debut race, then went a bit off the radar for a bit, and then got a podium at Spain. And I think he had the fastest lap in that race as well. So Leclerc, he really is going to be a driver to be reckoned with for next season. And even if the Ferrari isn't the best car next year, if Leclerc can do these performances in a car that he's in now, he may well end up being a championship contender for next year. Then we've got the DRS though on the back of Sebastian Vettel. He's actually losing time now to Charles Leclerc because that's Sauber. He is so quick in a straight line, especially if you turn the engine up as well, because the Ferrari and the Sauber, they have the exact same engine. I imagine though that Ferrari, they've probably kept a few tricks behind that they haven't told Sauber about, just maybe just ways to like optimise the engine for maximum power. But still, they're going to be going near enough the same anyway. Now they're around the final corner, we're not close enough this time to make a move. So I on 92 corners here, and the finish line is so short as well. I mean, that's one thing I probably don't like about this track. Is the finish line is there, and it should be here where we actually start the race. You can actually maybe be able to get a run out the final corner, but how it is, if you're leading into the final corner, you're basically going to be guaranteed that position. And down the straight now, coming down into turn 2, we're still not close enough to the back of Seb Vettel. It looks like he's actually tied his engine up a little bit now, because he was getting back there on Charles Leclerc. Leclerc is just going to be giving Sebastian Vettel a load of dirty air. We're running out a little bit wide there, 324 as well, because the tyres are starting to go off. Of course, you don't want to be following directly in the dirty air, because it'll be overheating our car as well. Of course, it'll be double overtaking and run out a bit wide there once again, but thankfully though, we didn't get a warning from the stewards or anything. Imagine, you're probably seeing how difficult it is here to drive in the dirty air, because that is one of the changes that is going to be addressed for the 2019 regulation changes, that the car should be able to follow better in dirty air. And that is going to be something that this Williams definitely needs. And honestly, it affects more towards the front running cars as well. You see that Mercedes that's further back as well, Alonso and Wehrlein. Those cars are actually horrific in dirty air. They just do not work. They're designed to be front running cars, and that's why they designed them to be. They then designed them to be a little bit further back, just in situations like this. We've got the DRS now on Sebastian Vettel. Now we can put to the outside once here and just do the same move onto him that what Charles Leclerc did, coming up now into the hairpin. Well, it's more of a hairpin style course, not exactly a hairpin, but it's still tight up a load. But either way, you made the move though past Seb Vettel, and now then the car to get past next is actually Charles Leclerc in that Sauber, and that's going to be the fight to get back to where we actually started the race now, in the podium positions. And I think that's actually coming in now for a one and only stop now of the race, and let's not crash into the pit lane entry, because it's pretty simple to do that. I think I actually done that once before. I think it was in 2016, actually crashed into the pit wall on entry, so that was a bit embarrassing anyway. Now going to need a good stop here from a Williams crew, because that Ferrari is passing right up behind. And Williams there, they always do tend to give us good pit stops, so they don't usually give us when we need them, but for once they actually gave us a good stop when I needed it. And with Charles Leclerc though, he had a little bit of a gap or so. Goes pit up there, that's probably one of the most important pit stops that the Sauber pit crew have ever done to keep him in front here of me and Sebastian, since he's got effectively 6 champions bearing down on him now, me with 1 in 2016 and Vettel with 5 under his belt. And then down into turn 1 now, with Christian, we kept in some clear air. And then we kept it ahead there of this battle. We've got Haryanto makes a move there past one of the Toro Rosso Hondas. So he's finally managed to get past one of them. Imagine the other one's coming to the pit lane as well. So it's been a long time coming for Haryanto, but he's stuck up behind on that for a while. But it's finally made me look at how he's already pulling away. So it's like the Toro Rosso actually have a bit more straight line speed. Now moving on to the end of that next lap, well, we've got our teammate coming in, Kubica, who's still leading the Grand Prix, but he's been kept honest the entire stint there by Danny Kvyat in the Red Bull. Of course, Kvyat is still yet to win his home Grand Prix. I mean, this is probably going to be the best chance that he gets. Well, gets so far anyway. And Kubica actually gets held up though for Daniel Kvyat as well, so a poor pit stop there from Williams actually now gives Daniel Kvyat now the lead of the Grand Prix, but Kubica, he's got the straight line speed, he's going to come just flying straight back past him. I have no idea honestly how Daniel Kvyat has kept his car this close to Robbie Kubica in the first place. Now coming back now onto the track, actually there goes one of the Saubers. Is that Giovinazzi or is that Leclerc? Actually, I can't tell which of the Saubers is that. It's actually Charles Leclerc. And Leclerc is actually overtaking Daniel Kvyat, which should mean that Charles Leclerc is leading the Grand Prix in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. Charles Leclerc, for the first time in his career, in only his 15th Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc is leading the Grand Prix ahead of Daniel Kvyat, myself, and then Kubica, and then the 2 Ferraris. Charles Leclerc here could well be on the Sauber's 2nd ever race victory on what will be their first as an independent outfit, because they have 1 million under their belt. from their BMW days, where they were classed as BMW Sauber back then, so it still technically counts as a Sauber win, but that was still really a BMW win, but it's a bit of a grey area for that anyway. But now then, Daniel Kvyat now gaining on the back of Charles Leclerc, because I imagine Daniel Kvyat is going to be very confused as to why there's a Sauber in front of him. He must be thinking it's Giovinazzi or something. There's no way he's going to be fathoming that a Sauber is leading the Grand Prix. And when did Charles Leclerc start? He started in P5, so that's some pretty stonking pace all weekend already. Of course, he started in 5th place in the rain as well. And the rain should not have been good conditions for that Sauber. But somehow Leclerc, I mean, he won I think it was called F2 then, in his debut season, and then moved up to what was the Ferrari Junior team for this year. Already has a few podiums under his belt, and he's now leading a Grand Prix for the first time as well. Charles Leclerc is going to be one of the drivers to watch out for the future, along with Max Verstappen as well. Now then, Daniel Kvyat now has DRS on the back of Charles Leclerc. Coming into turn 1, he's close enough to make a move on the inside of the Monaco driver. He has a look to the inside line, but pretty much that might just be more defending from us as well, because we're still right up behind the back of him now. Now they're going to be through the sweeping turn 4. Daniel Kvyat's going to just be getting a whole load of dirty air from the back of Charles Leclerc. But yeah, he's actually getting this to see how much that good aero really is helping that Red Bull. Going now into turn 5, there's a huge knock on there from Charles Leclerc. That is not going to do his tyres any good now. He's under pressure now from Daniel Kvyat, going to go around the outside line. Going now into turn 6 and trying to sweep it around the outside line. Can actually do put it off. He uses a brilliant overtake from Daniel Kvyat to sweep right around the outside line of Charles Leclerc. He drops right now into 2nd place, and Daniel Kvyat now just pulling away. Now we're all over the back there on the Monaco driver, trying to get around the outside line once again. We're going to try and stick it out around the outside line of Leclerc and make it stick in the Leclerc. He's just dropping like a stone now. Has he got some kind of car issue? As he's flattened his tyres, actually, that flat spot there, that might actually be what it is. And he's trying to defend now from Robbie Kubica. And Kubica is just going to blast right past him now. And actually, here comes Sebastian Vettel. Imagine this is going to bring a smile to the German's face. He's just going to blast past back now his teammate for next year. And Leclerc, though, he actually has nothing to answer with. So Leclerc, I think, has just shredded his tyres in one corner. Pretty much what Nico Rosberg did in the 2014 real-life Grand Prix here. Into turn 1, just completely yeeted it into turn 1, destroyed his tyres. And I think that may well be what Leclerc ended up doing just there as well, because that is not going to be a comfortable ride for him. And looking further back now onto the Mercedes here of Fernando Alonso. He's got one of the Toyotas right up in front of him. I think it might be Kobayashi. And he's still got Max Verstappen. He's had Verstappen behind in the entire Grand Prix. But then getting in the DRS now on the back of that Toyota. Can he make a move? Can pull to the outside line? Is he Kobayashi going to try and fight him back? But now he's going to go around the outside line, which is the inside for this corner here. And Kobayashi's going to try and keep his nose and not the inside line. But then he just gets squeezed out though by Fernando Alonso. So he makes the move up now into I think that's, I don't actually know what place that is. Probably about 7th, something like that. Then you got the other Sauber behind. I'm guessing that's still Gio. I don't think Leclerc's dropped that far back, surely, that he's actually behind all of these now. There you go, Max Verstappen. He's going to want to make up for the past few falls. I mean, he could have won in Hungary, and his teammate Daniel Kvyat dominated in Singapore, which is the track that suited the Red Bull. And Verstappen he bottled it in qualifying then. He's not the best one here in qualifying again either, so on the run now down into turn 1, Verstappen though, he's not close enough to the back of the Toyota to make a move, and I don't really see how he's going to make the move. But now then, on to lap 19 of the Grand Prix. We're now still in P2. We've got Daniel Kvyat still in front of us. Now this is for the lead of the Grand Prix. We've got Kubica, our team is still right up behind, and then not too far behind him is the lead Ferrari, Seb Vettel, who's still coming with us. Now then, into the 5 seconds, just having a look there on the inside line of Daniel Kvyat, because you never know, you could just put him off. I mean, this is reminiscence back now to 2016. Actually, put up there, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, just about though. Literally just going like not even a 10th quicker than what he had before. So showing some good speed now in the DRS here now. Off Daniel Kvyat coming down now into turn 1. Kvyat's going to go defensive to the inside line and try and sneak it around the outside line now on the braking and go late on the brakes, which he must manage to sweep it there in front. So Daniel Kvyat, he's trying to defend to the inside line, but basically all he did there was move out of my way and give me the racing line. So now he's going to have dirt and stuff on his tyres, a few marbles as well. There's a 3 seconds look at that. He just closes it up immediately back. Going to go defensive to the inside line. You can try to get around the outside line, a little bit of contact made, but there's no way there. I'm letting him go around the outside line. Now then, coming now into the second sector of the lap. This is where the Red Bull is going to be so strong compared to our Williams. But there's going to be absolutely nothing that Daniel Kvyat can do to actually get past us now through this part of the track. Now then, he's going to have to gain through here. He's just going to have to save himself up now for a run down the DRS straight. But we've seen what he could do before. That cosy engine in the back of this Red Bull is pretty tragic, quite honestly. We've seen from the qualifying in Monza, Kvyat only got 15th place. So yeah, this Red Bull is not by any means a speed demon, but Kvyat is the speed demon just in that car. And actually goes side by side once again. He's going to try and make this move back now around the outside line, coming now into the corner. Try to make a move on the inside line. We can try and stick it out around the outside line. Here off Danny Kvyat and then trying to sneak it back on the inside line, but no, Kvyat actually pinches on nose. We're stuck up the inside line. We're trying to go for a dive back on the inside line and go very late on the brake, and we just have to back out of that though. Danny Kvyat just has that line covered now for the time being. And then we've got our teammate now, Robbie Kubica, now right up our gearbox. Of course, Kubica still inside on pole in the rain as well, so we had a few more pole-on-pole headlines, I imagine, pretty much like when he got his first pole back in 2008. But now then, we've got 3 seconds down on that lap. That's how much time we're losing in battling here with Danny Kvyat. But now then, we got DRS now once again on the back of the Russian, and once again Kvyat gets first to the inside line. He's going to blast straight back past him now on the racing line, coming in now into turn 1. We're going to lay on the brakes again. We have to give Kvyat space that time. He keeps his nose in on the inside line, trying to get a little bit brave on the brakes. We still managed to make the move there back past the Red Bull. Now they're coming into turn 4, we're trying to stick it around the outside line. We're going to force Kvyat out wide. We just let him drift out a bit, and Kvyat said that unfortunately come in the most. I was actually hoping I could just guide Kvyat out wide, and Kvyat could just sneak his way up the inside line. I think it was the Williams 1-2. I mean, we've got to make up for Monza still, haven't we? Although we still beat Alonso there and both Mercs. We're still owed a 1-2, quite honestly. But now then, we're still sparking away. Now actually, Vettel's now actually catching up to this queue of cars now. Because the more me and Kvyat battle, the more we battle like we were then, because if you can't make the move before the corner, that's when you start slowing yourself down. If you make it and still keep the racing line, then you don't really lose anything, really. But now then, Robbie Kubica, can you do anything now to annoy Dan Kvyat? I'm honestly hoping you can, but Kvyat's still right up in the back of us once again. He's so close to us. He's got so much good speed to that second sector of the lap. And once again, he's going to try and go around the outside line once again, coming into the corner. I'm amazed when I say that there's not much more contact where it was. Pretty much, remember back to the 2014 Grand Prix, Alonso and Raikkonen, when they pretty much just speared into each other. And that was Raikkonen's final race of his career. Because Ferrari sacked him after the race for Sebastian Buemi. So they took it quite seriously. That is honestly a really dangerous point on the track as well, to be going side by side. And now then, we don't get the mini-map. We're now bringing up one of the Toyotas, which I imagine is Hamilton, and then the Ferrari of Adrian Sutil. Now, they're always coming into play. This is becoming, what's that, a 6-way fight now. And we're a second quick on that lap, though. We're still losing a heap load of time to what we could be doing. This is the reason why I want to catch you up. Now this time we go to the inside line here, down with Kvyat now. Kvyat's going to try and side dash him now down into the corner. Kvyat's going to try and get brave on the race this time, get around the outside line. Almost caught on over there, which I think they may have been wheeled to side pod contact there, but he's still a higher there, around the outside line. And we're going to sweep out wide there, just trying to just... Well, it's not it's effectively weaving, but it's not weaving, because he's just trying to keep it a wider line into the corner, so that'll give Kvyat a way to try and get that around past us. And now then, Lewis Hamilton is now caught onto the back now of this queue of cars, and he got Sutil there just in his distance as well. So this could well actually end up being a 6-way fight for the race win if you keep going this slowly. Now moving a bit further on, we get ahead of Dan Kvyat for that lap, but now Kvyat's going to come back to us now once again. They're actually going to go to the inside line this time. We get to send us out there to the outside line. Kvyat's now going to try and go the long way now around the outside line. He pinched our nose in. That was very cheeky there, very aggressive as well from Dan Kvyat. He wants this victory so much for his home Grand Prix. I mean, we denied him in 2016, and in 2017 the Red Bull car really wasn't there for him. So he's going to be hungry for that first victory. Of course, he's also hungry for his first championship as well. You have to forget, all 5 of us here are all championship contenders. I'm still counting Vettel for now. I mean, he's going to be in it a little bit, I still guess. I mean, if he can just bang out some good results, he could still well be in the championship fight. I mean, Sutil's not. So literally, there's 5 of us here, all championship contenders. So literally, there's going to be no holds barred between all of us. And we're all about though of Kvyat going to put to the inside line of Daniel once again, coming down into turn 1. And Kvyat once again is going to try and stick in there around the outside line, but we're saying we're just going to leave him out wide a little bit. We have to leave him space though. And we try sticking out around the outside line, just going to give it full commitment now, all or nothing here around the outside line. Use a good high-speed downforce on this Williams. And coming now into turn 5, having made that move, Stig is still going to have Kvyat around the outside line, get a little bit forceful. They're going to barge him out wide. They're going to clear his momentum now. Here comes our teammate now, Robbie Kubica, to try and possibly make a move now past Daniel Kvyat. Coming now into the corner, if it goes to the inside line, Kubica's going to try and stick it around the outside line, but Kvyat gets his muscles out, gets his arms out, and he's not going to allow that to happen. And they're still going side by side rather than just about Kvyat on the inside line, and Kubica then just has to back out of that. Because the more them two go side by side, the more it's just going to allow Vettel and Hamilton and then Sutil to get into this battle behind as well. But now then, we actually managed to pull away a little bit now from Kvyat. So these two battling, Kubica is there, really has done me a great favour. And then down the straight now, is Kubica close enough to make a move on Daniel Kvyat? He's going to be in the DRS now on the back of the Russian. Now Kvyat gets to the inside line. He's going to try and make a move past around the outside line. And he's going to breeze past now even in before we get to the corner. And behind you got Lewis Hamilton there, makes the move past his former teammate from Ferrari from 2 years ago now, from 2016 to 2015. Now imagine that's going to be a pretty satisfying move for Hamilton. He looked to be pretty much nowhere early in the race. He was dropping back when it looks like on lower fuel. That slate is really coming back into play now. It looks like they did a lot of their focus well on longer run pace, and well, you're on these ultra soft tyres for longer as well. So it looks like that work's paying off there for Hamilton. Now then, Daniel Kvyat is actually going to have DRS now to try and come back at our teammate Kubica. But Kubica, he's made the move, but then pretty much to the end of that sector, there's another DRS straight. Now then, with the DRS now, is Daniel Kvyat close enough to try and make a move back at our teammate? Going down out into Kvyat's going to try and go away around the outside line once again. Kubica going to try and squeeze him out, but he just keeps his nose in there. Now Kubica's going to keep his side. Actually, no. Kubica there just manages to keep his nose in front, so great fighting there from Daniel Kvyat, and of course Kubica as well. Now Lewis Hamilton getting really interesting now. Kvyat might not even end up on the podium in this race. It could be a lot there from Kubica, so he's really feeling the pressure from Daniel Kvyat. Coming down now into what is turn 6, into the second sector of the lap. Kvyat there, he's just not close enough there to make a move. But of course, the more on him battle, the more it's going to be allowing me to pull away. So imagine Kubica, he's just slowing down a little bit through these corners. You can just see, you can just feel it as well, that Daniel Kvyat could go so much quicker than what Kubica could through these corners, but he just can't get past us. And now then, coming now into the third sector of the lap now, the end of the second sector here, now down the second DRS straight now. I don't even know what lap we're on at this point now, probably like 25, 26, there's not going to be much time left in this race now. Now Kvyat there with the DRS, once again he can try to go back around the outside line here now this time. Of our teammate Robbie Kubica coming up now into play, gives Kubica a right squeeze there against the wall, so Kvyat now getting really aggressive now, getting borderline dangerous now what he is. And now he makes a move once again back in front of Robbie Kubica, gets back up now into second place, but is there enough fight left in that Red Bull to get back to us? Because I know there's enough fight left in Daniel Kvyat, but just has he got the car underneath him to actually make that move? Now you've got Lewis Hamilton looking very interested up behind as well. But imagine Kubica might actually getting back before the end. Now moving on to the end now, of the final lap now into the third sector. He managed to keep in front though of actually our teammate Robbie Kubica, who's actually managed to re-overtake Daniel Kvyat. So unfortunately we missed that. I didn't even see that one looking back through the replay footage. But either way, we're going to come around the final corner now. And you can't mess this on really on the final lap. And now we're going to win the Russian Grand Prix to make it, what's that, 3 wins now in 5 races at this track. But 3 out of 4 for us being in a Williams. So 3 out of 4 times we've won this in a front-running car. Now you can see the BMW Williams guys looking very happy on the pit wall, and honestly, why shouldn't they? We've got the 1-2, we've got a good deserving 1-2 that we should have got back at Italy. So I say redemption for that as we celebrate our 3rd victory now at this track. So this one just really just gels with our driving style. And even in Marussia we still scored points back in our first season. So this track really is just probably, this and Monza I think are the best tracks to me. It's Pascal Wehrlein, of course, I mean P10. He's pretty happy with that. I mean, he's side down in 17th. So he's made up quite a good few places there during the Grand Prix. And then now onto the podium now. There's our teammate Kubica there in 2nd place. You can see us looking very happy. He's standing there with the race win. And look at the whole team there as well. They know they needed that result as well. Because this is the really close fight with Mercedes in the championship standings. And we've just absolutely dominated the Mercs once again. Both in the drivers' results for me, Kubica 1-2. Of course, in the actual constructors fight as well. That might actually be enough to see us now move ahead of Mercedes in the constructors. Taking a look at the end results, and we take our 3rd win here in 5 races, just under 3 seconds clear of our teammate Robbie Kubica for a Williams 1-2, with Daniel Kvyat running off the podium in 3rd, then Hamilton in P4, then the 2 Ferraris of Vettel and Stuttil 5th and 6th. Kvyat actually comes home in 7th place ahead of Max Verstappen, with Fernando Alonso down in 9th place in the end. So Alonso really didn't have a good end to that race. I mean, he was ahead both of Kobayashi and Verstappen, somewhere dropped behind both of them. And his teammate Pascal Wehrlein wasn't too far behind in the end either. And Charles Leclerc dropped down to 11th place, so he must have absolutely destroyed his tyres. But he led the Grand Prix, so there's still positive to take away there from Charles Leclerc for this race, and his teammate Giovinazzi rounds off the points for a double point score for Sauber in 12th. Stroll would just miss out on the points by about 3 seconds or so, coming home in 13th place ahead of the Renault of Jean-Eric Vergne. A disappointing race drop down 7 places to finish in 14th. Then Mick Schumacher comes home in 15th in the other of the Haas. Pierre Gasly wins the battle this time for Formula 1.5 ahead of actually Nico Hülkenberg in the Renault. So Hulk had a mare of a race as well. They're down behind Pierre Gasly. And Haryanto in 18th place with Nico Kari in 19th, and Carmen Jorda way behind everyone else. I don't know what happened to her. She must have made an extra pit stop or something, because there's no way she'd have been that far behind under regular circumstances. Now moving on to the point standings, and Alonso still leads, but only now by 8 points. He had a lead of almost 60 at one point, and now it's down to only 8 points. These last few races have not been good for the Spaniard. And you got Daniel Kvyat now in 3rd place on 28, and then Hamilton in P4. He's only 39 points off the lead as well, so it's still. And you got Robbie Kubica in 5th place, and then Vettel. I'm still counting him in for now. It's still only 2 race wins behind. Remember, we were all 2 race wins worth of points behind a few races ago. So the top 6 is still in the championship fight. Fortunately for Verstappen, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening for him this season, and definitely neither for Pascal Wehrlein. He's not even at 100 points yet. Got Adrian Sutil then in 9th place. He's actually now been caught up quite a bit though by Kobayashi. Well, he did not score him in this race, so the gap between them is going to open up a little bit. You got Hulkenberg in 11th now, 53 points, only 2 points clear now of Charles Leclerc, who rounds off the top half with 51. Verne is now only 6 points behind Leclerc on 45, and he's 4 points clear now of Mick Schumacher, who's on 41. He's still 8 points clear of his teammate Lawrence Stroll. Then we have Ricciardo in 16th on 16, and then Haryanto leads the battle of Formula 1.5 in the point standings, though he is now joint with Pierre Gasly, but by virtue of better results, Haryanto is still in front. And Giovinazzi, by getting his 2nd point now, moves ahead of Matsushita and in front of Karma Jorda. And Carlos Sainz now down into 22nd place, but he's still ahead though of Nico Kari. So if Kari wants to actually get ahead of Sainz, he needs to score a points finish. And finally now, moving on to the constructor standings, and Williams now do retake the lead, finally, of the constructor standings, now 20 points clear of Mercedes. And you got Red Bull in 3rd place now, 39 points off, so it's still a 3-way fight in the constructors. And you got Toyota in 4th place, so we're pulling away now a little bit from Ferrari in 5th. And then you have Alfa Romeo Sauber in 6th place. We're now 7 points clear of Renault, so it's only the points gap to Renault a little bit there. Then you have Haas in 8th on 74 points, we're still actually yet to score any points since round 11, so since the German Grand Prix, so they've been on a little bit of a slump recently, you have Haas. And you have McLaren in 9th still, and Toro Rosso propping up the standings in 10th. I'm going to vote for you driver of the day with the poll link that'll be in the video description. Remember to check out the wiki for this season as well, so you know all the latest info and now the championship standings, everything on there as well. Also, check out for this season, last season, all the teams, all the drivers are all on there as well. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this video as well, and also leave a comment down below your thoughts on the race. Subscribe if you're new and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, they'll be linked down below in the description as well, along with the 3 livery mods that I used. The Martini stripes for the Williams, the BWT livery on the Toyota, and the Alfa Romeo Sauber livery. Yeah, they'll be linked down below in the bottom of the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.